Alright, well, time to feed these hungry AMD fans. Got two articles here. One from one from NeoWin. What's up, NeoWin.net? And the other one from Tom's Hardware. It's talking about this AMD 24.7 driver. This for the Adrenaline. This for the Adrenaline software. Listen to this. By the way, hello people. Another beautiful day. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. All right. Listen to this. It says here AMD's 24.7.1 driver adds anti-lag 2 support for Dota 2 and brings bug fixes. It says here it's a new driver time for Radeon graphics users, and as AMD has just pushed out a new version that touts support for 2 new games, expanded HP high PR tune support, anti-lag 2 support for Dota 2, and more. Says the AMD software Adrenaline Edition 24.7.1 driver comes touting official support for games Zenless Zone Zero as well as Kunitsu Gami Path of the Goddess. For the latter title specifically, AMD's testing shows up to a 16% increase in performance when compared to the company's previous driver release. At the same time, AMD Radeon Anti-Lag 2 technology now officially supports Valve hit competitive MOBA Dota 2. Take responsive gaming to the next level by introducing in-game optimal pace frames, further reducing input lag on AMD RDNA architecture-based discrete and integrated graphics products. Says AMD, describing the technology that was also added to Counter-Strike 2 recently. And then it says here AMD also shipped a lot of bug fixes with this release. And here are the fixes. Ready? It says improvement to stutter when using Radeon anti-lag and AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution 3 frame generation is enabled. Improvement to stutter while playing Fortnite with DirectX 12 API. Texture corruption may be observed while playing Tekken 8 with ray tracing or upscaling enabled. Corruption may be observed while playing Dying Light 2 Stay Humans Reloaded Edition with Radeon Boost enabled. Intermittent system crash or corruption may be observed while playing Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy with ray tracing enabled. Virtual super resolution or display color enhancements may be set to disable after driver upgrades. Unable to change display pixel format with certain Windows display language. Intermittent black corruption may be observed when scaling 3D models while using Origins and Origin Pro application. Black corruption may be observed while fast forwarding using Pot Player. It says the following also fixes the known issues pile has been reduced to just these. Lower than expected performance or excess stutter may be observed while player Battlefield 2042 on Radeon RX 6000 and 7000 series GPU. Resolution target 24.8.1. Then it says audio and video may intermittently becomes out of sync with recording using the AV1 codec in AMD software Adrenaline Edition. Resolution target 24.9.1. And then it says the WHQL certified AMD Adrenaline Edition 24.7.1 driver can be downloaded via the Radeon setting app. Standalone download links hosted by AMD can also be found on its notes page and driver. So yeah, you Steam Deck fans and you AMD users, yeah, you're good. Updates rolling in at any given minute, any given hour, any given day or second. Okay? Yeah. But Tom's Hardware see if I got any comments here on this. 0 comments. But Tom's Hardware got one comment that explained the whole thing. Listen to this. It says anti-lag steps out of its comfort zone. Tech arrives on Vulkan 1.3.291 brings anti-lag benefits out of DirectX for the first time. And says here, as of early today, recent Vulkan spec update version 1.3.291 be specific went live on GitHub. Inside malicious fixes and such, a new Fixes.Amd anti-lag extension has been added to Vulkan, bringing full AMD anti-lag support outside the boundaries of recent DirectX graphics API. NVIDIA Reflex is also already supported with Vulkan in selected title, though some users have reported issues with that functionality under Vulkan. This update for adding anti-lag to Vulkan also address an existing Vulkan NV low latency extension as well. And then it says, so the greatest benefit of AMD anti-lag and NVIDIA Reflex technology is that they entirely automate the FPS capping process according to users' latency and GPU utilization. Since the full maximizing GPU utilization can increase latency and the severity of the FPS dips, both technologies tend to cap GPU utilization around 95%, while dynamically adjusting the frame rate cap to ensure the smoothest image and low latency. Then it says here, aside from, as a side note, the Steam Deck built-in refresh rate / FPS limiter toggle is one of the few ways to dynamically adjust an FPS cap without restarting the game, using external application, relying on anti-lag, etc. Then it says the most exciting implication of Vulkan adding support for AMD anti-lag is that this may lead to anti-lag being natively supported on Linux. As is, there are already some effort for NVIDIA to get Reflex working on Linux through Proton extension, though users have given mixed reports on how well this works. There's also open source vendors neutral latency flex solution, but since it works akin to the canned AMD anti-lag plus, then it says in parentheses game engine hooking, it can trigger bans in games with anti-cheat. So it's far from perfect. For now, only time will tell if these Vulkan updates leads to native AMD anti-lag or AMD anti-lag support being added to native Linux games, or at least AMD Linux system running the Proton compatibility layer like Steam Deck, since FSR3 frame generation can be made to work through Proton, and there are already efforts to get Reflex working. Cautiously optimistic. And here's one comment that explains everything. Listen to this. Ready? So I can find this comment here. One user said this. Okay, where's the comment? See if I can get to it. One user said this. Ed Zeba said this. Reflex / anti-lag are not FPS capping. What they are doing is talking to the game engine and tell it the previous frame has not started scanned out yet. Wait before you submit another frame. This means that the render ideally never exists, as there is no render to buffer. As soon as the previous frame starts canning out, the engine can then take the most recent input sample. Then in parentheses it says mouse position, and then close parentheses it says computer the frame, submit the frame to the GPU, and render always be short than the interval between frame deliveries. The basic reciprocal of the monitor refresh rate, e.g. 16.67 milliseconds at 60 Hz. If it takes longer, you miss the next scanned out start and get a one frame stutter. This makes Reflex / anti-lag great if you can hold minimum FPS, really maximum frame time, well above the monitor refresh rate, but not much use if you are ever dipping below that. In effect, this clamps latency to reciprocal of the monitor refresh rate. Then it says for VR, you can do late latching, which is where you not only wait for the next star wait to even start generating that frame until the absolute last possible moment before it would result in a render miss. This means the minimal latency can be below the reciprocal of the refresh rate. If you could render 240 frames per second, but your monitor can only display at 60 Hz rather than the uncapped frame rate, then it says, then in parentheses it says 4 frames tearing across the screen, close parentheses, or VSync, then in parentheses again 60 FPS, the game will pause render start until 4.7 milliseconds before the finished frame needs to start readout, and only start rendering when the trade-off is that in the event of a render miss, the stutter impact is not big spike in latency. Going from low latency target to double your refresh rate, reciprocal 4.7 milliseconds to 33.33 milliseconds for our example. VR tackles this by reprojecting every single render frame such that head movements always has the same minimum possible latency. Regardless of the latency, even though world objects may be subjects to latency in motion, for flat games, he laid it out. This would correspond to having rock solid low mouse movement latency, but characters animation still subject to latency judder, Judder. That's that. So yeah, AMD, this one user explained it pretty good. So with AMD, and always working, always bringing out new updates to improve performance, efficiency, for better results. They're always working at this. And this is the first one was let's see, 24. What was this? 24.7.1. But then on the Vulkan side of things, it's 1.3.3.291. So updates on the Linux side of things, or even Windows, when it comes to gaming, is always being, is always happening, And AMD, they're always improving things. And this all comes, and also Vulkan, this all comes from user feedback. The users be sending feedback to AMD, and they see what they can do, and they're always responding, based on the feedbacks and based on new discovery within their within the tech that they make. So yeah, they're always updating, man. So this should improve your gaming experience for now until the next update. What's this? 24.7.1 and Vulkan 1.3.291. Yeah. The next update, will improve a lot more. So the gaming industry moves on, and this will give the AMD fans something to talk about now that AMD has a Ryzen RDNA 5, RDNA 6, and even 7 in the works. So yeah, man. Tech industry moves on, man. Yeah, and you learn, these users, man. They love their techs, man. So that one comment really explained a lot, and that's from years of experience of understanding, how see if I can get back to this comment here. You know how let's see how FPS work. You know how lagging works. Yeah, all that. You know, ray tracing, FSR, how all of that works. So yeah, you know, these users, man, this is from years of experience though. This came from like back in the early 486 days, 286, 386, Pentium 1, 2, and 3 days. You know, and you know these users, you know, they got an understanding, you know, of all this tech, doing all this reading and research, and yeah, and now they're sharing their expertise with the world, man. So yeah, but this one comment is pretty good. Now for the Vulkan side of things, you know the tribunal is going to issue a DMCA takedown. But I'm joking though. You know, because Vulkan is spelled how? What is this? Vulcan, right? But in Linux they spell it Vulkan. But anyway, yeah. DirectX is always you know, being worked on, you know. So yeah, tech industry is moving, man. More updates will come. You know, problems are always happening. You know, issues always comes up. You know, within the tech gaming world. So yeah, AMD is responding. You know, just like Nvidia, they do respond. You know, so yeah. For the handhelds that use AMD and Nvidia graphics cards, or APUs or GPUs, they're always benefiting when AMD, you know, brings out a new update. And the same goes for those handhelds that use Windows operating system. You know, all those updates are coming from feedbacks. You know, so Microsoft, you know, Valve, they're always on it. So yeah. So yeah, the tech industry, the gaming industry, gaming moves right along. Yeah. And Steam Deck fans is loving this. The one thing I do love about this article too is I think it was in the other one, where it says the Steam Deck has this where it says Steam Deck has this where is it? See, where's the Steam Deck? Where's the mention of the Steam Deck here? No, it's in the Tom's Hardware. It says the Steam Deck has a let's see if I can find it. Okay. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Okay. Let's see. Where's the Steam Deck? Okay. All right. Okay. Says something. The Steam Deck has a feature here. Yeah. Oh yeah. It says. A side note: the Steam Deck built-in refresh rate FPS limiter toggle is one of the few ways to dynamically adjust an FPS capping without restarting the game. Very brilliant, Valve. Brilliant. They were ahead of the game on that one. Save some of the gamers headaches. Like when you see people using the Steam Deck, you always see them adjusting the frame and the you know, and the adjusting the frame rate. Yeah, it's pretty good, man. That Steam Deck is no joke though, by the way. And then you add the Creo utility on top of that, along with your Proton and along with FSR. Oh yeah. Anyway, man, yeah. Another update to add to another update to add to the ever-growing catalogs of update, man. They're on it. Updates are just marching in. Yeah. Whenever you watch a YouTube video, you always see people adjusting the frame rate limit. Oh yeah. So this makes the Steam Deck looks good. Oh yeah. Let's see, where is it? says, a side note, the Steam Deck built-in refresh rate / FPS limit toggle is one of the few ways to dynamically adjust the frames per second cap without restarting the game. Yeah, it's that little icon in the right where you click on it. You're adjusting the amount of frames or RAM. Yeah. Oh yeah. Steam Deck is good, man. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy though. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still Star Wars Touch Thing. Dark Section. Go. Peace.